I mean, if God tells me tonight, I'll make my decision. But I am seriously inches away from not supporting Trump anymore.
It is happening. The Republican Party is coming apart. The base that surrounds Trump is literally dissolving. Marjorie Taylor Greene may be someone, but it's nothing like Alex Jones. Alex Jones was the very first, quote, media figure that backed Donald Trump. He was able to get, like, the Oath Keepers and the 3%ers and all that stuff behind Trump. And the reason why he was able to do that is because that was one area where his media was really intense, particularly around things like the Mulhern National Wildlife Refuge protest done by Ammon Bundy back in Oregon and all this stuff. His connections to that community run deep. But the reality is, Alex Jones now saying he may stop supporting Trump, which he probably will. And the reality is because he knows one thing. He sees the writing on the damn wall. He knows that the 20,000 emails are broken down to about 2,300 threads, and 73% of those threads mention Trump directly, and inside of those threads is Katie Johnson, it's the price of the girls, the $15,000 a night, communications going well into Trump's presidency, of Epstein advising Donald Trump on people to fire, on policy, things of that nature. It's just all over there. He knows he's done. He knows Trump is doomed. It's not that Trump is committing suicide. This was always there. It was knowable literally from 2014 and even earlier. All you had to do was read the girls who were complaining about Trump. If you did that, you would have seen lots of Epstein girls and teenage girls connected to Trump, and Trump, sexualizing his own daughter on national television and national radio. You would have seen that and understood that when you're looking at Donald Trump, you are looking at a pedophile, at a man who developed a friendship with with a human trafficker, a sex trafficker, and just sort of like if you have a friend who is a major drug dealer, you are going to probably be a person who is doing drugs, because lots of drugs. Right? So if you're connected to a person who is a pimp, you're probably getting laid. If you're connected to a person who is a sex trafficker for years, you very are probably tasting it, That's what he did. That's like the Katie Johnson story. That's with all the other girls. And he knows right now, those 1,000 girls that have come forward are going to confirm Katie Johnson. You don't even know if one of those girls is Katie Johnson herself. And what Katie Johnson described is unbelievable. And then he also understands, he has to understand by looking back on this, when he was talking about, when he was talking about Madison Cawthorn, talking about the sex parties and all that stuff. You know what's happening when Madison Cawthorn was talking about his sex parties and, Alex Jones was confirming this stuff? That is when Tony Lazzaro was out there moving around, having all of his having his, pedophilia, sexual contacts, his sex trafficking, and supremely connected to the Republican Party. So yeah, so that's it goes Epstein, then it goes Tony Lazzaro, and then over here is Andrew Tate. He knows that this is done. He is seeing what the 2026 campaign is going to be like. It is going to be nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Trump is a pedophile. That will be on every social media site, inundated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's going to be advertising commercials, all that stuff, literally everywhere. It will just be nonstop. Trump with Epstein, Trump with Andrew Tate, Trump with Tony Lazzaro, Trump's spiritual advisor, other people, all of these people who are these pedophiles surrounding the Trump organization, while Trump is finding that the only people who will probably cling to Trump like glue are the other people, the conservative type, Republican types, who were with Jeffrey Epstein, who will be in that Epstein list. And we already know a lot of those people because they're in the emails. Those people will cling to Trump like glue. Why? Because Trump will not release the files. The problem with that is that Tony Lazzaro is Minneapolis, Minnesota, Democratic governor, Democratic mayor, can release information about Tony Lazzaro. May not because Tony Lazzaro right now is like in this appeal thing, but there are stuff that will be talked about. With Epstein done, New York can release all kinds of stuff. And that's New York, mayor of New York, governor of New York, Democrat, unleashing all of that information. The financial records being released. We already know $15,000 is equal one girl for one night from the emails. So this is what Alex Jones knows. It's done. It's over, and it's cooked in. It will not be long before enough Republicans retire to take the House, to have the House shift to Democrats. Or at the very least, to shift to the point where there are not even 218 Republicans to be able to pass anything. That is what is coming. Like, share, subscribe, and here is Alex Jones telling you that he is going to stop backing Trump.
I mean, if God tells me tonight, I'll make my decision, but I am seriously inches away from not supporting Trump anymore. Because I am not going to watch him commit political suicide